Hello guys, welcome to Ride VIP, the rideshare channel. My name is Serge. In today's video, I'm driving a Tesla. I've been posting videos to my rideshare channel, showing you guys how much money I make, giving you guys some advice, taking some of your advice, and all in all, my goal is to build a community here on my channel where we, the drivers, could share the information amongst each other to better ourselves, to make better income, to be a little bit more profitable, to use some of these profits to catapult us to the next level in life. And with that being said, I want to tell you guys a little story. I'm basically like a true driver, guys. I've been driving since 2007. Not on Uber or Lyft, that was not in existence. I wish it was, because that's exactly what I've been doing, what I would have done, because it makes the most amount of sense. You could basically have the freedom to work as much as you want and take your time that you do have while you're in a vehicle and use it to do some kind of business, answer emails, well, maybe not emails, but when you charging or whatever, or you parked taking a break. But you could have eBay sales, you could have any kind of sales, including you could become a real estate agent, all by doing Uber. But I think by far becoming a salesperson, either like eBay sales or like a real estate agent, being the driver, if you don't have nothing, you're just starting out as a driver, that is by far the best thing you could do with your life, because you're already driving, you're dealing with customers, you could get your practice in by talking to the people in the back or whatever, and you could catapult yourself to the next level career-wise, all while being able to sustain yourself, your income, with Uber job. And you could work as much as possible to make as much money as you can with Uber, Lyft, put it all together and start saving that money and pay your bills, whatnot. But all in all, you're gonna need to minimize your bills, and it is getting darker, so we're gonna go ahead and remove my sunglasses. So all in all, you can make money with Uber and Lyft, even with the garbage pay that they're paying us. And yes, you could make more money probably getting employment. But one thing you will not have with an employment, even though you're gonna have a bigger paycheck, is the ability to, first of all, write all your expenses off. Yes, you're gonna make a lot of money, but you're gonna be in a higher income tax bracket for making that money if you do all the overtime. So you cannot really write it off. With Uber, you could write off every single cent that you're driving. You could write off your whole entire income simply by taking a standard mileage deduction. You will not basically make any money. So with that being said, if you have minimized your normal expenses, but the standard mileage and deductions considers the fact that you have those expenses, because it is normal for normal human beings to have those expenses, then you're winning. I'm winning right now. I have done that. I have came to that point. I've minimized all the expenses while maximizing my income. And then now I'm working to go take my career to the next level. So I'm at the point where there's 3 decisions I'm gonna make, but we're not gonna focus on those on me right now. What I do want to talk about, guys, is how I got to this point. Probably why you clicked on this video. I just wanted to kind of like give you guys the rundown. So as I said in previous videos, and I will mention this for this video because it's a whole new video, I went from being broke in basically August of 2011, but I mentioned that it's 2012 because 2012 is when I moved to Charlotte. So I moved to Charlotte from Florida completely broke. I had to borrow $180 from a friend that lives in Charlotte, so that me, my wife, and my baby son could move to Charlotte. He could not even walk yet. So that was very tough for us to do. I could not figure nothing out. I didn't have anything, not even a car. So when I made that move, I was starting all over. But now we're gonna stop right there. So I do want to mention the next thing. I did not have a place to live. I needed to move in at all these different places. So we're not gonna really look into that right now either, because that's gonna prolong the conversation, which is not important. The important thing is, it's pretty much homeless. But by 2000 2012, November, I was able to finally rent my own place. So that took a while for me to get there. Basically, probably all in all, from the time I was broke to the time I was not, it took a good year, but not more than that. While that year was going on, I was working, I was doing all kinds of things, I was trying to work, but nothing was really working out. I was not able to get a place of my own. It was just super hard. Now we're gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna tell you what I do have right now. So I do own my own house for cash. I do have a commercial zone property. I do own 33 cars. But how did I get to that point? So here I was broke. Here I have these things. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is not to brag at all. Please don't think that I'm bragging. I don't need to elevate myself to any level. The only reason I do what I do, and I'm doing this right now, spending my time talking with you guys, is because I do want to share the message. I do want to motivate you to be able to take your driving job and catapult yourself to the next level, because gosh, it's so possible. It's not easy, but it's possible to do. So let's continue. So basically, 2012 I was broke. 2013, by the end of 2013, I was renting. So I went from 2013 to 2015, which was a period of 3 years. I worked super hard driving expedite, and boy, there was a lot of challenges. There was so many challenges. We're not going to go into all the challenges right now, but there was a lot of obstacles and challenges. It was like I was trying to swim upstream. I was late on my rent sometimes. It was super hard, okay? But then in 2015, by July, we purchased our home and a commercial zone property, which was a complete dump. It was a rundown property. So that's like another thing. Not a lot of people are ready for that. Not a lot of people are ready to sacrifice their lifestyle to get to where they're going. But in life, when you're trying to make it somewhere and you're broke, first of all, you need to get out of that stage of being broke. You need to, first of all, you need to accept the fact that you're broke and actually do something about it. You will not go anywhere in life by just wishing and hoping and sitting at home. There's nothing wrong with playing video games, but if you're just sitting at home playing video games, that's terrible. You know, play video games when you are working, and when you come home and you made some money, then yeah, you can play some video games. But the thing is, the reason I mention that is because it's a common thing, and believe me, I had that problem as well, playing video games, but I wasn't sitting around. But anyways, sometimes you ask people, it's like, hey, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or like 10 years? They're like, oh, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that. You know, they imagine themselves having a nice car, nice house, but they will not have any of those things when time comes. And the reason is they have not made plans to get there. They're still at the same job or no job, but they're imagining they're gonna have a better future. But here's how you gotta look at it. Look at last year. Look at the year before compared to this year. Are you better off this year than the year before? Is last year better than the year before? If it is, okay, you're going in the right direction. Every single year you got to do like a minor improvement. You got to go to the next level, minor improvement. Some of the things you're going to need to focus on in order to get a house for cash, in order to get where you're trying to go, is minimize expenses while maximizing your earnings. So let's get back to how I actually saved that money to be able to actually get my house, because there were so many obstacles, and that is probably what you want to see. So what you will wanna find out is this, and this is so common sense, but I have to mention it because it's not common sense for a lot of people. So guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make a video like this because I needed to make a churn. And so I had to basically get off the phone, because now I'll actually have to basically pay attention where I'm going and stuff like that, because I am on the way to pick up somebody. And you see, I'm using this time to record videos. I'm not losing any time. I'm using the time of being an Uber driver to record videos for you guys. I'm using this time to then take that video, and when I actually edit the video, I will edit the video when I'm standing, and I'm charging or whatever, and then I will upload the video while charging, so I'm not wasting time. But while I'm also charging, I might be taking a nap, and because I maximize my time, what time I do have. So that being said, you need to use your time wisely. This is why a driving job can really catapult you to the next level. And I will get back to the actual videos and stuff and how I really got into that, but that's going to be for 2015 when I really got into it. And I didn't know that where it was gonna take me, but I did it anyways. And I didn't have anybody tell me what to do, how to do it. I had like no idea. I just did it. There's a true saying by Nike from like one of the movies, and then it became sort of like a slogan: just do it. That is very important. Sometimes in life you just have to do it. You just have to get up and do it, get it done. So let's talk about what did I do to minimize my expenses and maximize my earnings. So I was living in apartments. My rent was $800, which was expensive. They keep going up on rent for me every time I sign my new lease. Sometimes I was late on that because the expediting that job, they were only paying $80. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? They were only paying me 80 cents a mile. So sometimes with Uber we're getting 80 cents, sometimes we're getting 50 cents, sometimes we're getting $1. But 80 cents was at best. Some of the ride offers that I got at the time was like 65 cents, even as low as 55 cents. Guess what? I said no. And they're like, well, we can't get you out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I stuck to my guns. I was taking minimum, like 80 cents. That's it. Guys, I was driving 15,000 miles a month, just to give you an idea of what's going on. And in order to make that rent payment and all the other expenses, which we will get into, but just a little bit, and give me a minute. So in order for me to make all the money and pay all my bills and then some, I needed to not work full-time. I needed to work basically like 2 jobs, like double time, triple time. So I was working 90 hours to 100 hours a week. A week. So how is that possible? Well, when you're expediting, you're not coming home that day. You're going to be all over the country. Sometimes you're driving for 36 hours straight, sometimes 24 hours straight, sometimes you're driving for 10 hours straight. Sometimes you're sitting around, you got no work whatsoever. And that's why it was painful. It's like you got no work, sometimes 3-4 days, and then they finally give you work, but now you got to drive 36 hours. So it was like sometimes nothing, sometimes something. So what did I do? I told my wife, she had a small baby at the time to take care of, my son Kevin. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to be gone for like a month or 2 months. Minimum, I was gone a month. Maximum, I was gone like 3 months. And I was just working my ass off, like driving all over the country. And as I was driving all over the country, it was hard. I was away from my family. It was hard on my wife. It was hard on me. But we had the vision of saving every little dollar that we can to then reinvest that money and buy a home. Any home. It don't have to be nothing luxury. We just wanted something for cash. And that's how we ended up with a dump. We bought a place that my friends said, that's a tear down. Now they're asking me, how did you do it? And it's because sometimes you don't have to look at the place like a dump. You have to have a vision. You're like, okay, this is just 4 walls or whatever. You could fix those walls. You could make it more nicer looking. You could make an addition. You could make improvements, like home improvements and stuff. So it took me 3.5 years after I bought the home in 2015 to renovate everything, because as soon as I bought it, I ran out of money. And as soon as I bought it, I ran out of money, and guess what? They cut my lights off. Now I have no electricity. And to make matters worse, why did they cut my electricity off? Because my vehicle broke down. I needed a transmission. I have no money for that transmission. But you know what I had? Because I thought ahead of time, I had another vehicle with a better engine that had a good transmission. But here's the catch. I needed the transmission and the torque converter. The torque converter was, you cannot remove the torque converter because you need to spin the engine, but the engine was locked up, so it would not spin. So it means I needed to disassemble the whole engine to unlock the torque converter so it could finally spin. So I started recording these videos of me doing the job, which was mechanical. Never done that of extensive work anymore. So I kind of thought, you know what, I'm gonna make this video so I could remember how to put this all back together. You know, it was kind of interesting. I didn't even own the tripod. I didn't know how to edit videos. I was not a YouTuber. As a matter of fact, I was so shy, I was even afraid to speak. So for some of the videos, even when I did speak, I was speaking quietly, and I would put music there, making it very loud so nobody could hear me, because I thought nobody cared. Nobody wanted to hear me. And then people started saying, like, turn the music off, I can't hear you. And I'm like, what? People want to listen to me, what I have to say. Because I did not have good self-esteem. You know, it was super hard for me all my life. I had to really earn my way up. I did not get any generational wealth. My parents are still broke. My dad's in major debt. The only people that are doing good is me and my brother from my family, like financially. We actually did the work. We got to where we going by setting our dreams and getting there. We have two different approaches, but you can't say one is wrong and the other one's right. They're both right. You just have to know what you want. I wanted a life of freedom. I wanted a life with no debt. That's not for everybody. Some people, they might say, you know what, I just want to have a comfortable, cushy job. Just get in there, work, keep my head down, make sure I don't get fired, make sure I get promoted, and just keep upgrading the house. Each time you could barely afford it, but you got a bigger house because you got a promotion, you got a bigger car because maybe you got a promotion, and you barely make it by. So a lot of these rich people, they really don't have, you know, they're not rich. They're just barely getting by. So what I did is I planned to be free by buying my own place. I don't care if it's a dump, because in time you could fix it. So I'm not going to get into the portion of fixing it, but this video is about how did I get there, and I think I accomplished that. What I did afterwards, that is another story, because that is a talk about how that I went from not having but 2 cars at that time to now owning 33 cars. And I could own more cars, but right now I got other goals, and they're business goals. And I'm using this driving income to catapult myself to the next level. But not only that, I'm using this opportunity to share these ideas with you guys, so that while I am reaching my goals, some of you guys could start reaching your goals, and some of you guys that lost hope could gain hope by saying, you know what, here's someone that was a driver that was struggling like me, and this is what he did, and this is what we could do. Of course, there is a lot more to it. I need to explain to you guys how did I maximize my earnings while decreasing my expenses, and that should be in the next video. So thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourself, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.